So what we're going to do now that we've repeated those lines and created a rhythm is we're going to use blending, hatching, cross-hatching, and scumbling to do some stuff. And then we're going to also extend some lines, okay? So we're trying to show value with balance. So to do this, we're going to start with blending. And then we're also, while we're doing that, let me shift this stuff. All right, so right here I'm just doing blending. I'm going darkest at the edge. Sometimes you can look and it'll say, like this one says light on it. See? So if I want it darker at that edge, I could find the one that says dark. Okay? And that just means the charcoal is softer, and see how it's a little bit darker? Okay? So that's how I could shade it. You can take a blending stump like this, and you can take it and blend it like that. Cool, right? Now I could turn that into something else or whatever. I could play around with a whole bunch of different ways. So what were some other ways that I said you could create shadow? Do you remember from the other day? What did I do after I blended? I did what? What did you say, hatching? Sorry, I had to think. So like I could do hatching like that to make it look like that's an edge. Okay? Now, I could continue hatching here to make it darker, but what did I say you could do? Not just hatching, but cross hatching. So I could cross hatch up next to the edge. Does that make sense? So that, now look, it's starting to create more of an edge. So I can go do cross hatching there and let this hatching kind of come out. I could even blend that if I wanted to. I could combine them. Combine the techniques. You with me? What was the other one I said? Do you guys remember it? It's really tricky. It's my favorite though. I could create a zigzagging, but let's make it look like some of this zigzag happens here. So I'm just kind of repeating that same zigzagging. Scumbling. Remember scumbling? Have you ever seen it before? So let's say I want this area over here lighter than that area. I go real close. Here's how you do scumbling. Ooh, ah, sorry. Yeah. It's like controlled scribbling. And then as I get over here, I want it darker, okay? So what I'm gonna do is spread out my scumbling. So up close, I'm gonna scumble tons. So much that it almost is one solid white. You with me? And then as I get here, I start releasing and not giving as much and just letting it fade off. But here, it's bigger, and then it gets tighter and tighter as it moves into that area. Now, I accidentally went somewhere I didn't want to go, but guess what? Charcoal usually erases if you're real careful. Okay? So, right up next to that line, if I go lightest with my scumbling, or strongest with my scumbling, then it creates kind of a value change as I go out. Is that starting to work? Okay? So you can scumble. Another last thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to let you kind of go and break up the space. Remember, you want to extend those on out, okay? Because that gets more interesting too, and then I can shade away from that. Another thing you can do to make an area look dark is, like, maybe I could do a word here. It could be create, it could be like any kind of like motorcycle. I mean, it could be anything. So like if I do this, the more I spread out the word, the lighter the area looks like. If I get it right here and I want that area really dark, guess what I do? I write it, and then I keep writing it over top of itself. And now look, it's saying the word art, but it looks like a shadow when you back off of it. The only line I have not done yet is one that you guys, I'm going to do an organic. Watch this. I can maybe make the line end up dashed. So it's still creating an organic line, but it just looks different. And then look, maybe in here I can make this part fade. See what I mean? You with me? You kind of get it? All right.